Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the YesSHECan project. I'm delighted to be joined by the gorgeous Julia. Hello Julia.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on.
Pleasure.
So for anybody who doesn't know you, would you be able to give us just a brief introduction and tell us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Julia Champion and I am an agent and PR for television presenters, TV experts, celebrities, and I do PR for various brands. I do a charity, I do a lingerie brand, I do various different businesses, a wealthy property developer, all sorts of people. Yeah.
You're a busy lady.
Yeah. Should I be looking at the dot or should I be looking here? Sorry.
It's entirely up to you. I'm always looking kind of in the corner, but for people listening, they won't care where we're looking, so it doesn't make a difference. Okay. So take me back, Julia, to before you founded Champion Talent. What was your previous career?
Right, I did a media degree at Bournemouth, the famous Bournemouth, and I don't know how I got on the course actually, because everyone on my course had fantastic A levels and mine were very mediocre. But I think I got in on the interview because I can talk for England, as you can tell. And so I did a media degree, and a lot of people off my course ended up working in television, radio, film, etc., etc. And I took radio as an option for my finals, so then I was very keen to work in radio, so I started out in local radio, in BBC local radio, which was brilliant fun. Absolutely loved it. BBC Radio Suffolk, I'm a Suffolk girl, I come from Suffolk, and then I did a bit of work experience at BBC Essex, part of my degree, and then I did BBC Sussex and BBC Radio Sussex and Surrey, which was brilliant because I lived in Brighton. At one stage I was producing an arts and entertainment programme that went out in the evening, presented by Tommy Boyd, that some people might remember from Magpie days. And I used to sunbathe all day, walk along the seafront to work in the evening, have a production meeting in the pub with my presenter, and we'd go on air at 9 o'clock and just laugh for 4 hours. And I thought, I couldn't believe I was getting paid to have so much fun. But I didn't get paid very much in local radio, but the friends I made and the experiences I had were brilliant. And then I worked at talk radio as a producer for a while. Again, that was great because it was just when talk radio was launching, and I was really young compared to everyone else there. I was like 26 or something, and there was all these sort of seasoned newspaper hacks that were working there as producers and stuff. And they brought in quite a lot of what in that time were quite big names. So I had Vanessa Feltz, Trevor McDonald, Terry Christian, Jeremy Beadle. I can't remember the others.
Jeremy Beadle. Yeah,
they were all quite big names back in the day, because this was 28 years ago or something, a long time ago. And I loved that. And then one of my researchers was a guy called Mike Sissons, who was the son of Peter Sissons, the newsreader, who's now passed away, sadly. Yeah. And I went to a barbecue at Mike Sissons' house, and Peter Sissons was there, and he liked to chat up a young blonde girl, it's got to be said. And he gave me a lift to the station and was saying, "Oh, how can I help you in your career?" and all this sort of thing. And I said, "Well, I've always quite fancied being an agent, but I don't know how to get into it." And he said, "Well, my agent's looking for an assistant at the moment. Do you want me to put in a word?" And I thought, yeah, why not? But I had to take when I was working at talk radio, I got paid very well. I got chauffeur driven cars to work. I only had to work a 4-day week. So,
walks along the beach.
It was a massive leap up from my local radio salary. Yeah. So I was earning quite well. So of course, when I went down to be an assistant again, which to be honest could have been done by a school leaver, really, I took a massive salary drop again. But I just thought, I knew I wouldn't be an assistant for long, because I knew that I was quite hungry to be an actual agent. And over time I had my own clients, and then I got poached by a bigger agency and blah blah blah, and I went from agency to agency and agency to agency until I set up my own business in 2010 with my business partner Jane, who worked with me very happily for 11 years, but she left last year, so it's just me now.
Oh. Was there anything in particular that, because obviously you knew that you wanted to be an agent, was there any particular like spark of inspiration or a time when you felt, you know what, I can take the leap on my own? Because I bet that was difficult.
I don't know why I fancied being an agent, because I didn't really know enough about it. And of course, at that stage, there weren't programs like Call My Agent that sort of like give you the taste for it. I didn't really understand what an agent did, but I knew that when I was a producer, I would deal with agents, and it sounded very glamorous. And I loved it when the presenters say, oh, you know, I don't know if I can agree to that. I'll have to discuss it with my manager. I'll have to discuss it with my agent. I was thinking, God, wouldn't it be nice to be so needed and wanted and valued and rich? I want to be one of those. I thought they'd be so rich as well. Yeah. And to be fair, it is quite lucrative, but only when you've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, really.
Oh wow. What does like the typical, obviously you had your own ideas of how it would be, and you'd be super rich and it'd be really glamorous. What is the reality of a day in the life of an agent?
Well, it is quite glamorous, actually. You get to go to lots of events and awards ceremonies, the Baftas, the NTAs, the various different charity events. You know, and obviously you get the opportunity to meet lots of people in telly. I mean, you know, obviously celebrity thing doesn't really dazzle me, because I worked with celebrities when I was a producer, and I also work with people now. So they're just like, you know, some of them are my friends, some of them aren't, but they're just like anybody else, really. So that's not really what appealed to me. I don't know what it was. I think it was like the sort of unpredictable. You can't really win when you're a producer, because if a show goes well, the presenter thinks it's because of them, and if a show goes badly, they blame you. So actually it's a bit like that being an agent, to be honest. But and also when you've been doing it a while, I mainly worked in news programs, and the same things come up every year. You know, you've got to find a different take on Mother's Day, a different take on Valentine's Day, a different take on Christmas. Is the Grand National Cruel, you know, this stuff that just comes up time and time again. And I was just like, I've done this. You know, I was only young. I'd been doing it from when I was 21, when I left university, to when I was 26. And already I felt like I'd used every idea. And also, you know, when I was a producer, you can't read a newspaper or a book or see a film without thinking, oh, I should get them on the programme, or, oh, we haven't covered such and such. I just wanted to be able to read a book or read a newspaper without having to think about work, associate it with work. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, well, what do I love doing? And I do love a bit of telly, so I thought it makes sense for me. And I'm good with people. I think the key to being a good agent is being good with people, being able to keep lots of balls in the air at the same time. Remember who's doing what when. Knowing your way around legalese and contracts. Being a good negotiator. Definitely. You've got to be good with money. But I think it's really the people skills and remembering who's who, and, you know, that sort of thing. And the other perks, I get quite a lot of freebies. I get given beauty treatments, clothes, holidays. I can't complain. It's quite cushy. I didn't get those when I was producer. I think I got a free copy of the Radio Times. That's about it.
Ooh. Pushing the boat out. So Judy, you've got a wealth of experience. We've just touched on the PR side of things. So you do a lot of PR for TV presenters wanting to raise their profile, for businesses, charities, etc. Has there been any client in particular that stands out to you where the PR that you've got them has catapulted them like beyond even your expectations?
Well, a couple of years ago, I did PR for the Channel 4 series A Place in the Sun for many years.
Okay.
And very successfully. And then the same, oh, where are you? I've lost you. Hang on. Sorry, you disappeared for a minute. I did PR for A Place in the Sun for a few years.
Yeah.
And then the production company that make a Place in the Sun, a company called Freeform, made a program called, I think it was called The Great Hotel Escape or something like that.
Okay.
And it was presented by Stefan Dom from Gogglebox.
Oh, yeah.
I have never found a client that's so easy to sell. Literally everybody I pitched them to wanted them as guests because they're hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
And so I got them on Loose Women, BBC Breakfast, Good Morning Britain, Lorraine, This Morning. I mean, literally everybody wanted them. And I got them in pretty much every broadsheet and tabloid newspaper, OK magazine. I mean, literally all the women's magazines. It was the easiest job in the world because people really, really wanted them. So, you know, obviously I worked hard as well, but that was hugely successful. But you could say they were pretty famous before I did the publicity. Now, I didn't manage them. They weren't my clients, but I did the publicity for the series and it went really, really well. So that was easy. I mean, you know, I sort of have to have an interest in who I'm promoting.
Yeah,
whether it be a business, a person, a series, before I can do a good job.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't believe in someone, I just wouldn't take them on because it's a waste of their money and it's a waste of my time, and it takes a lot of work for something if you're not really passionate about it. So.
Yeah, definitely. And then at least that way, if you know them, and if, like you say, you're passionate about them, then as soon as you see an opportunity, then you know, well, this person's going to be perfect for that because of X, Y, and Z.
I keep my client list really tight. I never have. I don't understand these acting agents who have, you know, over 100 clients. How can you possibly have any sort of personal relationship with any of them? Whether I speak to most of my clients most days.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I allocate 7 hours to deal with X and you know, whatever. I deal with everybody every day, really.
Yeah.
And it just depends, you know, what I hear about, what ideas I have for them, etc. But I do have a strategy to it for each person I work with.
Oh, brilliant. So obviously you've touched upon the easy things, well, not easy, but the things that have come easier.
The successful things.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge in your line of work so far?
Oh, goodness me. Sometimes you have to keep reinventing people. Okay. I've got one client on my books that I've had for, God, over 20 years, and she's followed me from every agency I've ever been with. She's very loyal to me. And she's still working now, and I'm really proud of that, even though she's in her 60s. Yeah. And with her, it's been a case of reinventing her, you know, over the years, so that she's an expert in different areas.
And you know, to appeal to the new market.
Exactly. That you know, and something that's more fitted to her age and profile, you know. Yeah. So that's worked quite well. What's the challenge? When it's tricky when clients don't get back to you very quickly. That drives me mad. There's one client I've got, I can be offering her a job worth thousands of pounds. I still have to call her 50 times and email her and WhatsApp her and text her and send her a message on Instagram and God knows what else before she'll get back. But when she does the job, when she answers me back, she's absolutely lovely and really apologetic. And I adore her, but blooming heck, it's hard to get hold of her.
Challenging.
I won't tell you who that is. So I've worked with a few people over the years who you just think, do you want this job? You know, there's like, there's I could give you a queue of 100 people who would literally bite your arm off for this job, and you haven't even called me back since last week. You know?
Oh gosh, I bet that is frustrating because there's nothing more that you can do. Because I bet if you're doing your job fast enough and getting them the opportunities, if they don't return your call, then you're like piggy in the middle, aren't you?
Yeah, I hate being piggy in the middle. That's the worst part of being an agent, actually. Yeah.
So if you could sign your ideal client, like location, no object, nothing is no object, who would it be and why?
Well, I don't do actors, you see. So who would it be presenter wise? God, I don't know. There's loads of brilliant presenters out there. I mean, I love Kate Garraway. She's one of my good friends. And I used to manage her years and years ago. But I couldn't take, when I left that agency, I couldn't take her with me for various different reasons. But I think she's one of the best presenters on the telly. But it's probably a good job that I don't manage her, because we wouldn't be we
Good
probably would have
friends.
fallen out by now. You've got
Yeah.
sometimes you've got to keep a distance. Who else do I think is really, really brilliant?
And she's such a
God.
lovely lady as well, and especially after all she's been through.
Yeah. Oh, there's loads of people, but I can't think of one particular person off the top of my head.
Is there a reason why you don't do actors and actresses?
I just don't know that world so much, really.
Okay.
You know, I didn't go to drama school. I haven't got any sort of theatrical. I don't go to the theatre much.
Yeah.
I do like it when I go, but I don't go very often. I do like a TV drama. I mean, most of my clients are, as well as being presenters, they're experts of various kinds. So I've got doctors, psychologists, property experts, you know, et cetera. And what I like about that is that usually they've got another job as well. So they're a GP or they're whatever. And so the work that I get them is the sort of icing on the cake. It's not their bread and butter money. And that sort of takes the pressure off a bit. I think with a lot of actors, you know, they might have another job working as a waiter or working in a bar or whatever, but they hate their other job, and that's not their main career. Whereas most of my people, they're either working a lot as a presenter, or, you know, like Melinda Messenger is a psychotherapist now, and a lot of people don't realise that. So if she gets telly work, then great, but or corporate work, or personal appearances or writing work, or gets a spread in OK magazine, it's lovely, but it's not her be all and end all. It's just a nice icing on the cake for what extra she does. And I also think when somebody's got an expertise, rather than being a generic presenter, they've got much longer shelf life.
Absolutely.
You know, and I also think, you know, all I can do as a good agent is to wave that person's profile in front of the right noses. It's not in my gift whether they get the job or not. So I can only do so much. You can lead a horse to water, but I can't actually get them the gig in the end. When I get them the gig, I can get them good money and I can get them a good contract and good terms and all the rest of it. But I can't actually control their career as much as I'd like to. But I'm really proactive. I think there's a lot of agents out there, and particularly PRs, that are really rubbish and literally just wait for the phone to ring. If I did that, I wouldn't get any work at all, because being, you know, a relatively small agent, you have to be real hustler, you know.
Definitely. And I think, like, from when we first met, you were one of the first agents that got back to me straight away. And sometimes you just get completely ignored as well. And I think that's a testament to your work and your ethos.
Well, I also,
you
know, I've been in your shoes. I've been a producer and I've been on the other side of the fence, and I've been a journalist and all this sort of thing. And it's really frustrating when people don't get back to you. You know, even if they just send a polite "not interested" or "thanks for getting in touch, but I'm not keen." You know, just blooming reply. It's just rude not to.
And it only takes a few seconds, doesn't it, just to say, you know, I'm really sorry, but it's not what I'm looking for. I'm not interested. Wish you all the best, rather than making the person kind of wait and then wonder, you know, the whole, I wonder whether the email's gone into spam thing, and then you don't want to keep emailing. But I just think it's rude. And that's another reason why I've only got, you know, I've probably got I don't know, 15 clients on the website, and then other people that I say I'm dating, I'm not married to them yet. They're sort of non-exclusive clients where I'm sort of testing the water with them, and you know, seeing if people are interested in them and so on. Because sometimes somebody comes to me and they're brilliant, but they've got quite a niche area of expertise, and you know, it might be the next big thing on telly. You know, who would have ever thought the cleaning programs would take off, but they did. You know what I mean? And you hear some mad things. Do you remember there was a program called Splash a few years ago, which was a celebrity diving competition? When they came to me and asked for one of my clients, I honestly thought it was a April Fool's. I just thought, what a weird idea for a program, but hey, that worked as well. They did a few series of that. You just never, and then things like the jump. I've had clients on the jump, you know, the skiing where they go down that massive flat run, and And, you know, I wondered whether that was serious when I first heard about it. So you just literally don't know what the next thing's going to be. Yeah, well, It's like if somebody came to you with the idea of I'm a celebrity before we knew how iconic and huge it was going to be. Oh, just stick a load of celebrities eating stuff. Yeah,
or
exactly.
Big Brother. That sounds like a mad idea, doesn't it? But some things work, and other times you could. My clients, a lot of my clients come up with their own program ideas, and I think they're absolutely genius and never been done before and are better than anything, but they don't get commissioned. You know, go figure. I can't work it out. That's what I mean about how you just don't know what's going to be around the corner. Yeah.
If you could go back, Julia, to your younger self and give her some advice, is there any specific piece of advice that you would give?
Oh, goodness me. I wish I'd set up my own company a lot earlier, but a lot sooner than I did, because I could never work for anyone else now.
Yeah, I imagine.
I work for some nightmare people, and and you just, it's just so nice to have that autonomy. I mean, one of the reasons I set up my own business is that I had small children at the time, and my daughters are 15 and 13 now. But when I set up on my own, they were obviously, my little girl was 4. She was just about to start school, and I was working for another agency then. And I had the breakfast club all booked and the after school club. I had a nanny and people to bring her home from school and everything. And I had a small baby at the time as well. My other daughter was 2. And I just thought, hang on a minute. This, it took me 2 hours to get to work because it was right the other side of London. I just thought, this is insane. Why do I have children if I'm never going to see them? So one of the reasons I decided to set up on my own was just so I had a bit of freedom. I could take my daughter to school, then come home and work from home. I can work from home when I want. I can go into town when I want. Yeah. I can,
walk down the beach.
You do get calls in the evening, and you do get calls at weekend. Not very much, but I sort of keep, when it's your own business, even when I'm on holiday, I work every day. I keep across it. But I'd rather do that than sort of be part of a massive organization and just be one sort of agent in a whole massive office of other agents.
And I think it loses the personal touch if you're in something huge. I think that's what makes champion talent so successful, because you're so centered around your clients, because you have the time and because you keep it niche.
Because and they know that they're getting me. I think a lot of people are dazzled by these big agencies that have got lots of celebrity names. And they get, and if they're lucky enough to get taken on, they think, oh great, I'm the same agent as X, Y, and Z. But it doesn't mean that agency is a good agency. They probably took those clients on when they were already famous. The mark of a good agent is someone who takes someone from nothing and really grows their career. And I've done that with loads of people, and I'm really proud of that. And I might not be the biggest agent or the most famous agent in London, but I'm proud of what I've got achieved in my own little stable.
Definitely. So what's coming next for you, Julia, and Champion Talent?
Well, what's coming next? I don't want to take on too many more clients, because I don't want to be over capacity. But I just want to achieve more for the people I've already got, really. I've got no plans to expand. I don't want to take on any more agents. I like the fact that it's just me. I've got a brilliant assistant, and that helps. And she does all the stuff that I don't want to do and that I'm not very good at.
Honest.
The tax returns, the invoicing, the remittance advices, all that stuff.
All the boring stuff. You go to the lunches. It just makes
me want to go, la, 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 la. No, I've done the deal, you sort out the rest. So, and that works really, really well. So and I never want to retire. I absolutely love my job, and I'm going to keep doing it till I drop dead. I'm not going to retire at all.
I think it's so rare though, isn't it, to find something that brings you joy on a daily basis, and that's wonderful that you have that.
And it fits in with my life. I can, my kids are older now. They go to school and come home from school on their own now, but I could take them in and bring them back and then get on with my day. So
and go out to the Baftas at night time.
Well, I mean, that doesn't happen every night, but now and then.
So where can people find you?
My website is championtalent.co.uk. I'm on Instagram, champion9492 or champion talent. And I'm on Facebook, Champion Talent and Julia Champion.
Fabulous. Well, it's been absolutely wonderful to talk to you, Julia, and thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much. And everyone, go and check out Champion Talent.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.